Hello ladies, welcome back to the I've Decided challenge. Today is day 9 of the challenge, and if you'll notice, I disappeared for day 8. So I did this with intention to show you on day 9 that even if you miss a day, even if one day you fall off your affirmations, if one day you forget to do your scripting, if one day you forget to do your visualizations, if you have a day where the circumstances are incredibly challenging for you and you melt down and you cry and you throw yourself a pity party and you let all of your emotions out, or let's say you have a fight with someone, or you get really angry and upset and you just let the circumstances get the best of you, and you have a day where you didn't stick to your mental diet. We touched on mental diet in day 7, and I told you about the importance of sticking to your mental diet. Well, lesson 8 and on day 9, I'm talking about it's okay. It's okay if you mess up. It's okay if you miss a day. It's okay if you forget to do your routines. It's okay if you have a day where you just feel off. And it's perfectly okay to take a break sometimes. If you feel overwhelmed by manifestation, if you feel like too much pressure building up, if you feel too attached to your circumstances, too attached to your desire, taking a day or 2 or 3 off is not going to stop you from getting your manifestation. Nothing can keep you from your manifestation so long as you persist. So that is lesson 8 from this. And then before I get into day 9's video content, I actually have written 8 signs your manifestation is coming soon. So I'm going to be reading from my notes that I wrote yesterday. That way I really detail exactly what I am expressing in what these signs mean, what they should look like, how you should feel. So, sign number 1 that your manifestation is coming soon is you are totally fed up with your old self and the circumstances coming from your old beliefs and assumptions. What this can look like is you're so angry that the circumstances around you haven't changed yet because inside you feel like you're already that person. You feel, I've already outgrown this situation. If it's something at work where the dynamic is you're not being appreciated, you start to have this sense of like really annoyance of, I deserve to be appreciated, and the fact that it's not happening is really like annoying. It's frustrating and I'm over it. Or the other way you can tell that your manifestation is coming soon is your circumstances don't bother you anymore. And when old circumstances come up, you are completely unbothered. So this can look like, oh yeah, this is what's happening. That's annoying, whatever. It's not a big deal. I'm over it. Kind of a much more nonchalant, like, when chaos happens, you're kind of just floating there like, this means nothing to me. This means absolutely nothing. It doesn't mean my manifestation isn't coming. I just don't care. Kind of having like an apathetic attitude. That's another way you can tell that your manifestation is coming soon. Sign number 2 that it's coming soon is you don't need it. And it doesn't mean that you don't want it. A lot of people get detachment wrong. They think detachment is like put it down and leave it and don't ever think about it again. No, detachment means you're not emotionally tied to getting what you want. You're not so invested in getting what you want because you're already assuming the state of I have it. And oftentimes what we're doing when we manifest something is we want to get this because we think it'll make us feel that. So we want to get married because we think it'll give us a sense of fulfillment. It might give you a sense of purpose. It might give you a sense of accomplishment or achievement. It might give you a sense of belonging or a sense of worthiness or a sense of status or any way you define your desire. That's why you want the desire, because you think it will give you that feeling. So when you're in a state of you don't need it, it's because you're already giving yourself those feelings without having the manifestation. To elaborate on this, you can have it, you like the idea of having it, but you also know you're totally fine without it. Like, you still want it, you still like the idea of experiencing it. If you go into your visualization, you would think happy thoughts and you'd be like, wow, that would be really nice, but it's just not this like desperate need for it. And the other thing I want to add on that is, you know that if you don't get that manifestation, you are gonna get something better than that. Doesn't mean that you can't still get what you want. And sometimes what this can look like is you are going for a certain job, and there's a part of your subconscious that knows that job isn't enough, that it knows that that job just isn't quite, it's like 90% there. And so your subconscious goes, no, we want the 100%. In fact, we want the 110% of what we think we can achieve right now. And so sometimes what happens is, because you're so detached from getting it in the first place, you will actually find yourself drawn towards a better opportunity. And when you don't get the original thing you desired and something better comes in, you're like, oh, that makes sense, because you were so invested in the manifestation and how good it felt that that first opportunity just wasn't it. But you're not attached to either. You don't need either to feel good about yourself. Sign number 3 is that you are not putting it on a pedestal. I once had someone ask me, should I drag them off the pedestal? As in, like, they're a specific person. And what I want you to understand is, so many people get this wrong. So many people want to say, put yourself on the pedestal. But if you're up here and your desire's down here, why would you want it? And if you're down here and your desire's up here, why would you think you could get it? So the desire is not above you or below you. If it feels above you and out of reach, you won't get it, or worse, you'll get it and mess it up, because that happens sometimes too. If it feels below you, why would you want that instead of something better? So putting yourself on the pedestal above your desire, it just isn't logical. Why would you put yourself up just to reach back down to your desire, if that makes sense? I know that that's not always what people mean when they're teaching pedestalization, but that imagery just doesn't work for me. I prefer to be on the same level as my desires. We're equal. And it's just like in mathematics or on a scale, when the weights are equal, when the formula is equal, they're balanced and they match. And that to me feels way better than thinking of myself above other people, or above my desire. It feels more rewarding to me. I think that's the best word I can find for that. Because if it's below me, then it's too easy, right? But if it's my equal, then it just feels good. It makes sense. And sign number 4 is, you're not going out of your way to make it happen. This means you are not putting yourself out. You're not trying to effort. You're not forcing it. You're not putting in extra steps, or, sometimes even in a challenge like this, 30 days, it can feel like you're putting effort. It can feel like you're just doing too much. It can feel like, why even bother? And so there comes a point in the process of manifestation where you're just not going to go out of your way anymore. You're already in the mindset of like, I already have it. It's already done. I don't have to go out of my way. I get to just do what feels good. This can look like you're not texting your SP constantly. You're not doing too much at work or in business. You're not forcing yourself to be overly strict with your diet and workout. And you're not trying to make it happen. That's the main thing, is you're not trying, because it's already happening. Sign number 5 is, you just know. You just know it's yours already. There's no pressure or worry. You feel completely confident that the bridge of incidents will roll out the perfect path to bring it into your reality. And this, for me personally, is the number 1 sign that I know my manifestation is coming, is when I'm just like, I just know it's gonna happen. I just know I'm gonna get that job. I just know I'm gonna be with that person. I just know that I get to go on this trip. I just know that I'm gonna get this amount of money. I just know that this, even like sometimes I'll put out a video and I'm like, I know that this video is gonna be really successful. And sure enough, those videos always get like thousands of views, and it's that knowing. And when Neville Goddard actually talks about feeling is the secret, and even in Islam, we talk about tawakkul, which is like absolute faith. It's a knowing, like you just know. And anytime I look back on my manifestations, whenever I said to myself, I just know, It manifested so easily. There was no resistance. Like, it just happened because I was already quickly in that state of knowing. So that's a major sign that your manifestation is on its way. It's about to come. It's about to happen. Sign number 6 is changing the old story in your mind is easy and effortless. When your thoughts come up that no longer serve or align with your new self-concept, you are quick to shut them up. When the 3D shows you the opposite, you give it the meaning that it's still some way, somehow working out in your favor. And this is a really big one. When the thoughts in your head, again, going back to last video on day 7, we talked about mental diet. When you have those negative thoughts, when you have those insecurities come up, when you have those fears and doubts and worries, shutting them down gets easier when you know your power, when you know that you're manifesting, when you realize that you're in the driver's seat, and it's almost like, it's like your car is veering to the left and your hands aren't on the wheel, right? And then you have this realization of like, oh no, the car's going to the left. And for a moment there's a panic of like, wait, I don't want it to go to the left. And then you realize, oh wait, my hands are here. I can grab the steering wheel and put it back on track. In the beginning of my manifestation journey, when I was still doing law of attraction, this was rather difficult for me. And I was like really confused about the whole manifestation thing. Now that I have understood law of assumption, there is a lot of truth in law of attraction, but if you're just starting there, it really doesn't help you recognize how in charge you are. Law of attraction is the belief that you're attracting, you're pulling things in, which is a different perspective than law of assumption. I feel as though law of assumption is much more directive. So trying to manage your emotions and trying to calm yourself down and whatever is way more high pressure if you're using law of attraction, because then you're panicking about every little thing. And again, that goes back to day 8's lesson, which is like, it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have some crazy emotions come up. It's okay to, recognize that you're headed in a direction that you don't want to be in and have a little panic about that. But the main thing is remembering, oh, I get to redirect myself. I get to change the course. I get to like re-navigate back to where I was going. And when you finally realize and feel that power of, oh, I got this. Oh, those negative thoughts, like sometimes I'm very kind to my negative thoughts and I'm like, oh, you sweet poor thing. Like I see it as a younger version of myself. I'm like, you sweet girl, you have no idea. Like you're still stuck in that time frame and that mindset. Like I have sympathy for you and I will thank her and love her and nurture her into a more comfortable space, right? Just having a conversation in my head, working with my emotions. And sometimes I'm like, girl, you need to shut up. I'm like, shh, shut your mouth. You're making things hard. You're making things worse. I don't need this input. I don't need your attitude. I don't need your criticism. So there are multiple ways that you can shut down those mental thoughts. There are multiple ways that you can kind of like reel yourself back in to course correct, to get back on track. And when it gets easy for you to do that, when you have this feeling of like, oh, it's so easy, like it takes almost no effort at all to change those negative thoughts, that's how you know your manifestation is definitely coming soon, because you've developed emotional intelligence and self-discipline and self-control, and that's what manifestation is all about. Now, sign number 7 is going along with that is you realize you're in charge. You're in charge here. You've created enough proof for yourself that you believe manifestation is real and it's working for you, and you understand the process and can put it into action effectively. So I did make a video. It is called The Most Important Manifestation Video You'll Ever Watch, or something along those lines. It's like most important is in capital letters, so it's hard to spot. I mean, hard to miss. So that video, I went over the process of how our thoughts inform our identity and how our identity then regenerates our thoughts. And so how can we get ourselves out of that cycle? We get to choose all along the way how we respond, what steps we take. And that's really one way to get you in your power, is realizing that you're in charge, realizing that your thoughts are your thoughts, your emotions are your emotions, your actions are your actions. Therefore, your results are your results. And those results that inform your identity, it's your identity to shape. It's you. This is you. You are building you. You are growing you. You are manifesting you. That is what law of assumption is all about. It is the idea of self-concept, that there is no one to change but yourself. So yes, you understand the process and can put it into action effectively, and you don't give the 3D circumstances power over you. This is a really big one. This is a really, 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 really big one. Like I said, lesson 8 is that we are going to allow the circumstances to bother us sometimes, but the quicker we can come back to our power, the quicker we can come back to ourselves and realize, I don't need to react this way. I don't need to respond this way. I don't need to let them bother me. I can be in my power, and I can recognize that I'm choosing my experience from here on out, and nobody and nothing can tell me otherwise. Like, that's the best place for you to be. Then number 8 sign number 8 that your manifestation is coming soon is you are at peace with your life and yourself. You recognize your worth and value, and you refuse to accept anything less than you deserve. You feel confident in yourself and your ability to create your life, the life you wish to experience. You prioritize yourself and meet your own needs. And so sign number 8 is actually what day number 9's lesson is all about, which is creating a sense of peace and safety within yourself. So we're gonna have days that are chaotic. We're gonna have days that are stressful. The human life is like a roller coaster, right? And it's not, well, it's like surfing, okay? The waves go up and down, and it's not about trying to control the waves. It's not about trying to make sure that there are no waves ever in the ocean. No, the ocean would not be clean or beautiful or a healthy place for so many creatures to live if it were not in constant motion. So instead of trying to control the waves, instead of trying to worry so much about the circumstances, you control yourself. You create peace within yourself. You look around to your circumstances, good, bad, ugly, whatever, and you go, it doesn't matter, because my inner peace is what's most important. Meeting my needs is what's most important in this moment right now. And when you are having a low moment, if you're struggling with anxiety, if you're struggling with depression, if you are feeling self-conscious, if you're feeling like a low self-esteem or lack of confidence in any way, your mind is communicating to you that you have an unmet need. You either don't feel safe, you don't feel a sense of security, you don't feel loved, you don't feel a sense of belonging, you don't feel like you matter, you don't feel like you're good enough, you don't feel like you're worthy. And it's our job, it is our job, us, you, me, every single individual, it's our job to know those needs and figure out how to meet them ourselves so we can show up as the best version of ourselves. Day number 9, lesson number 9, if you take nothing away from this video besides this is the golden key here to unlocking a positive self-concept, which is self-acceptance. Accept where you are in the journey. Accept that you're constantly improving. You will never be finished. You are a lifetime project, and that is a beautiful thing. That is a good thing. Instead of striving to be perfect all the time or obsessing over how imperfect you are, guess what? We're all humans. We all have imperfections. We're all unique in that way, and that's a good thing. So the more you can recognize the beauty in that, the more you can give yourself that peace to just be, to exist as authentically as you can. And even if your authenticity today is crying and like staying in bed all day and wallowing and feeling depressed, that's fine. Just don't stay there. This is something I will always preach to you, is just don't stay there. It's okay to have emotions. It's okay to have off days. It's okay to have days where you're just not feeling like yourself. And it's okay to fall apart sometimes, so long as you begin to pick your pieces back up and pull yourself together and remember that you are worthy of love and you are deserving of experiencing good things, and this life was meant for you to express yourself to the fullest, and you were designed specifically. Your personality, your physicality, your spirituality was designed specifically to be you. There is no other person who could replace you. And there is worthiness in that. There is a rareness in that. We are so individually unique that you're special just because of that. You are special just because you're you. Now, of course, it's a lot easier to feel worthy and deserving if you feel as though you are bringing positive qualities to the world. So if you're depressed, if you're anxious, if you're struggling in any way, if you feel like the reason you're not getting a good enough job is because you're lacking skills, go get some skills. You're on the internet right now watching this video. There's so many teachers out here teaching you skills. Like, I teach the skill of self-development and mindset and manifestation. But there are skills like finances and skills like physical fitness, and there's so many skills out there that you can learn. And when you learn and you do something that makes you feel accomplished, that builds your confidence. And the same goes with relationships. Like, let's say you're just really not that good at making friends. I'm a very introverted person. I can be very extroverted here on my channel because I am here alone in a room talking to a camera, which, like, if you think about it, is still kind of weird. But I've grown comfortable with it because this is part of how I show up for you. It's part of how I show up in my business, and it feels good for me to do that. Now, get me in a room full of strangers, I don't know if I would feel the same level of confidence, but if I want to build that skill, that is an option for me. I can go out to different events. I can go to networking events. I can approach people at the coffee shop and compliment beautiful women when their dresses look nice and when their makeup is done well, and so on and so forth. And that can turn into friendships. So that's a skill that I personally can develop. What I'm getting at here is our confidence, our worth, our value often comes from the skills that we have developed, because it gives us evidence. It gives us a reason to feel confident. Now, I'm not saying you need to. It's not a necessity. You can feel confident, and I know people who are very confident and they're not the most capable people. They're very lovable, they're very friendly, they're just not very accomplished, and that's perfectly fine too. As long as they feel good about themselves and they're bringing their best selves to the world, no harm, no foul. So day number 9's lesson really is, if you want to be the most confident version of yourself, if you want to feel worthy and deserving of love, if you want to have that sense of, I know my manifestation is coming, I know that nothing and no one can get in my way because I know who I am, right? Which is the main purpose, the main mission of my company here at Who Is She, is helping you figure out, who are you? Because once you figure out who you are, you see the value in that. You will automatically see the value in that. You will automatically see that you are something special for people to appreciate. So go out there and do some skill building and build your confidence. Get out of your comfort zone a little bit. Try new things. Adventure a little bit. And if you're feeling down, create a community of support or reach out to people, because that's the one thing that we need as humans, is that confidence that comes from other people, to feel inspired, to feel motivated, to feel like you're not going through this alone. And yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed day 9 of the challenge. I know this video ran long, but it was a 2-for-1, so I'm gonna let it happen. Thank you everyone who has participated in the challenge so far, and last but not least, we are going to leave in the comments down below 8 days ago, okay, because it's day 9, so 8 days ago, I decided I am a healthy person. I'm an expert at manifestation. I'm experiencing everything I desire right now. I would love to see your comments down below in what you are manifesting, and I will see you tomorrow.